This is the video solution to practice problem A that accompanies sample problem 2.10 on page 63 of your text. This question asks us to write the systematic names for 3 ionic compounds. The general process for accomplishing this task is to name the cation and then the anion. We'll have to pay very careful attention to the cations in these examples because if the cation has more than one possible charge, we will need to include that charge as a Roman numeral in the name of the compound. The cations with fixed charge are found in groups 1 and 2 of the periodic table. There are a few other fixed charged cations. They are zinc, silver, cadmium, and aluminum. Basically, any metal that is highlighted here in pink is of fixed charge, and no Roman numeral is needed in the name of a compound containing one of these ions. Any other cation that appears in an ionic compound will have variable charge, and a Roman numeral must be shown in the names of those compounds. The first compound in our list is Na2SO4. Na stands for sodium, and sodium appears in group 1 of the periodic table. Its charge is fixed, so we will not include a Roman numeral, and we'll just write the word sodium for our cation. In this compound, our anion is SO4. This is a polyatomic ion, and it appears on page 60 in table 2.9 near the bottom of the page. SO4 is called sulfate, and with that we have the name of this compound, sodium sulfate. The next compound is CuNO3 taken twice. Cu is the abbreviation for copper. Copper is a metal that can have variable charge, and before we can name this compound correctly, we have to determine what charge it has in this instance. If we were to break down this compound a bit, we could say that we have 1 copper ion and 2 of the NO3 ions. The charge of the anion is always something that we know. When we look up NO3 in the list of polyatomic ions, we find that it is called nitrate and it has a charge of -1. Now, we know that the total negative charge from the anions is -2. This total negative charge is balanced by 1 copper ion, which means that the total positive charge must be +2. Since all of this charge comes from only 1 copper ion, the charge on that copper ion must be +2. Now we can fill in the proper name for our cation. We'll have to call it copper 2. And when we write the name for this cation, notice that there's no space between the name of the cation and the parentheses that hold the Roman numeral. The name of this entire compound then is copper 2 nitrate. Finally, we'll tackle Fe2CO3 taken 3 times. The cation in this compound is iron, which is similar to copper in that it can have a variety of charges. So this compound will be handled in the same way that we handled the previous compound. We'll break the compound down into cations and anions first. We find 2 iron ions in the compound, along with 3 CO3 ions. The anion is called carbonate, and it has a charge of -2. Our total negative charge from all of the anions then is -6 in this compound. That must mean that our total positive charge from all the cations must also be +6. This time, however, the total positive charge comes from 2 iron ions. We can come to the conclusion that each individual iron ion has a charge of +3. And then we can name our cation as iron 3. The compound will be called iron 3 carbonate. Please take some time to complete practice problem B in this group. Check your answers with the key on page 75 of your text. If you have any questions, please consult your instructor.